The topic of presentation is health, safety, environment and security in process industry. Safety policy for the protection of life, environment, health, safety and security is known as HSE. The EHS guidelines were created by the International Finance Corporation in 1998. Occupational health and safety is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. OSH may involve interactions among many subject areas including occupational medicine, occupational hygiene, public health, industrial engineering, chemistry and health physics. Steps to maintain HSE&S in the industry. There should be a program administration, and the supervisor is the key to safety success. The role of safety coordinator should be chalked out. Accident reporting should always be done. Accident investigations should be thorough. Periodic workplace surveys like daily, monthly or yearly should be followed. Hazard communication program should be installed. Safety activity reporting should be done. Hazard waste disposal should be ensured. New employees orientation briefing should be done before they go to the field. Since 1950, International Labour Organization and World Health Organization have shared a common definition of occupational health. It was adopted by the joint ILO/WHO Committee on Occupational Health at its first session in 1950 and revised in 1995. The ILO published a standard in 2001 which is similar to OHSAS 18001. We have many government organizations and laws all over the world that ensure that HSE&S are followed by the industries. Some of the very well-known government organizations are Congressional Office of Compliance US, Health and Safety Executive UK, Korea Occupational Safety and Health Agency South Korea. Likewise, the laws are Indonesian Act number 1/1970 about occupational safety and work 1970, Occupational Health and Safety Act 1991 Australia, and Occupational Safety and Health Act since 1994 in Malaysia.
From rain boots to parachutes to blue jeans and heart machines, there is perhaps no other industry that affects our lives more than the chemical industry. In fact, more than 96% of all manufactured goods are directly touched by the chemical industry. Chemical production has a wide range of hazards requiring different levels of control to keep companies and their communities safe. These hazards range from virtually zero for some products to very serious for others. The good news is that environmental health, safety, and security programs exist to give businesses a way of verifying that they're manufacturing as efficiently, effectively, and safely as possible. This can include meeting federal regulations or reducing pollution levels. Multinational manufacturers can devote significant resources to implement their programs. The bad news is that this can be challenging for small chemical manufacturers. Some companies don't have a lot of time and money for an environmental, health, safety, and security program. Some might rely on expensive consultants to guide them through complicated regulations. Others use programs that aren't suited to their operations and grow frustrated with the requirements. Luckily, there are environmental health, safety, and security programs specifically designed to be the right fit for different kinds of chemical companies.
Training on behavior-based safety. As we can see a man working in this picture, he's not wearing any safety gloves, safety glasses, his eyes are not on the task, he has no fall protection and he's not wearing any safety shoes. Now breaking up HSE and S. S and H mean all workplace illness and injuries are preventable. E informs us that all emissions of hazardous materials can be prevented and will progressively be reduced. Transparency. Stakeholders have a right to operations and HSE&S performance information to increase trust. Goals can only be achieved in business maintained through continuous HSE&S improvement, line leadership, dedication of staff, highest professional standards. What is BBS? BBS is the application of science of behavior change to real-world problems. BBS focuses on what people do, analyzes why they do it, and then applies a research-supported intervention strategy to improve what people do. BBS can be seen as the preventive maintenance of safety organization. What is behavior? Behavior is the way people act or what people actually do. It is the action or reaction of something under specified circumstances. Why behavior-based security? It is for us to minimize unsafe acts and unsafe conditions, to eliminate accidents, and it is a requirement of a safer and healthy workplace. As we can see in this graph, attention to equipment decreases the incident rates. Extra attention to the procedures given also decreases the incident rates and costs. But if we attach all of these things with HSE through people, incident rates and costs are minimized with a lot of effort. Planned observations of people at workplace with focus on PPEs, usage compliance, positions and reaction of people, condition of tools and equipment, and extent to which work instructions are followed. Here are the guidelines available through modules. Module 1, the introduction of behavior-based safety system. Our objective is to elimination of unsafe acts to eliminate injuries by becoming a skilled observer. Key principle: all injuries and occupational illness can be prevented. Safety is our responsibility. Safety has high priority. Don't sacrifice safety for improved production and or reduced time loss. Safety is a daily responsibility. Use observation techniques every day as part of your regular work and your continuing effort to upgrade your safety performance. Observe daily the people's work practices to observe unsafe acts. Interact immediately with the staff. Now this is the observation cycle in which first we decide, then stop, observe, act and report. Use safety observation card and or raise learning event electronically. Don't mention the name of the person involved. Interaction with persons involved is must. Report for actions to avoid recurrence and general communication to all concerned. Observation measures performance. Measure your job performance and your area's safety performance by observing your employees while they work. This pyramid shows that 2 million unsafe acts and 240,000 near misses and 20,000 minor injuries and 400 reportable injuries lead to one fatality. Module 2 is personal protective equipment. Safety is a line management responsibility. All injuries are preventable. 12% injuries are caused due to failure to use PPE. PPE is a barrier in between person and the hazard. PPE protects people from unnecessary exposure to hazards. Failure to use PPE reflects the attitude of the person and he may ignore other safe practices. Module 3, Positions of people. Observe people at work and ask yourself that can their position lead to an injury? If it does, then approach them positively and ask them. Injury causes and potential hazards. Striking against or being struck by objects, caught in, on or between objects, contact with rotating equipments, falling at same level or falling to different level, contacting temperature extremes, contacting electric currents, inhaling, absorbing through the skin or swallowing a hazardous substance, overexertion while lifting, pulling, pushing or reaching. Module 4, Reactions of people. As the observation cycle, we should see and decide. Free mind, dedicated round to observe unsafe acts, unsafe conditions, no other activity. Failure to use PPE is an unsafe act. Unsafe conditions are the result of someone's unsafe act. Be ready to observe people for all evaporative unsafe acts within 10 to 30 seconds. And then observe. Stop at work location. Observe all individuals from head to toe. Be ready to observe evaporative unsafe acts. Observe for possible injuries from potential hazards, that is, injury causes. Do remember, silent is consent. Being personal should be avoided. Being harsh or being disrespectful, blaming others. Module 5. Tools and equipments. Observe while people are working for using tools or equipment that is wrong for the job, using tools or equipment incorrectly, using tools or equipment that is in unsafe condition. Here's an example. One of the experienced maintenance workers were using a large screwdriver as a chisel and pried bar. The screwdriver shaft snapped as he was using all his force and body weight to attempt to get the tip of the screwdriver between a pump mount and its concrete pad. You can see the results. There were 37 stitches, 4 lost work days, 25 restricted work days. Module 6. Procedure and Orderliness. It is important that to look at procedures from a safety point of view. Injuries can result from any of the following 3 problems: inadequate for the job, not known and understood by all concerned, known and understood but not followed. Advantages of good housekeeping. The purpose is to provide guidance for maintaining a high standard of housekeeping on the site at all times. This procedure supports the group HSE&S guidelines that require industry to have appropriate risk control and monitoring programs in place and defining the principles to be incorporated for housekeeping. The requirements are: there should be a general manager who should ensure that procedure is available in an updated manner. There should be a work manager who should be put up to task, section heads, human resource manager, areas manager. The benefit of this program is good housekeeping can help us to do job safely, minimizing carelessness and clutter to common causes of accidental injuries and fire. Spend less time looking for things and fighting frustration. Have more time and energy to spend on more important aspects of work quality and productivity. Work area can be clean by enjoyable, comfortable place to be not dangerous. I score. Advantages of good housekeeping are reduced operational cost, increased production, conserve material and parts, improve production control, save production time, better use of floor space, lower accident rates, high employee morale, reduce fire hazard. Clean and store tools properly, fix or report broken tools, store material properly, clean and maintain machine properly, keep your workplace clean, maintain adequate lighting. Next section is permit to work. The salient features are: the person doing the job and the people around are saved by it. The document helps in ensuring accountability and responsibility. This page is as good as the people who are following its checklist. Work permit may save a life or cause death. The types of permits are: permit to work, hot work permit, vessel entry permit, excavation break-in certificate, temporary energization permit, scaffolding certificate, and many others. The authorities involved are: issuing authority, who is the owner with operating control. There is the receiving authority, which is responsible for the execution of specified job, and there is the acceptor, who is any permanent employee, nominee of the executor or receiving authority. These are the types of permits which are hot permit, as we can see here, or confined space entry permit, scaffolding, and many other types. All jobs done at the plant are use permits except normal plant operation, project activities outside the work, designated PTW exempt areas, e.g. fabrication shops, workshop, for activities where the issuing authority deems necessary. Permit to work has the duration and validity of 7 days, which is again extendable to another 7 days. Hot permit work is used for welding, cutting, grinding, drilling jobs, and it is valid for 24 hours only. Vessel entry permit is the permit which is used for all confined spaces entry, 1 meter depth, hazardous fumes, oxygen deficiency, not normal operating area. This is again valid for 24 hours. The characteristics of permit to work are that it is agreed work, information for all concerned, identified equipment job, specified precautions, all foreseeable hazards identified, formal handover of control of authority, discussion between issuing and receiving authorities. Scaffolding. Scaffolding is a temporary arrangement erected to accomplish maintenance or operational jobs in a safe way at unreachable or inaccessible places. Scaffolding accidents are usually the result of improper construction or negligent maintenance of scaffolding. Statistics of scaffolding and the fatalities. Height associated hazards, risk and their control. Hazards: fall of a person from work platform, collapse of the work platform, falls of object or material onto people below, contact with overhead surfaces, overturning in case of mobile scaffold. The risks: death, leg or arm broken, head injury, fall of material resulting in head injury. Control: use safety harness, net installation below platform, proper inspection of joints and material by a skilled person, properly barricade the area, net installation below scaffolding, make sure that the distance is safe from overhead electric and process lines. No worker or material should remain on scaffold before turning or tower. Tags identification. The red tags mean do not use. Yellow tag, used when completed the scaffolding erection and has been inspected and ready for use. The tag shall be placed at clear and visible place on the scaffold. This red tag is do not use scaffold. Scaffolding inspector should inspect the scaffold's conditions and ensure it's ready for use before the use of yellow tag. Do not use scaffoldings without PPE. Keep your hands close to your body, not higher. Do not overstep the ladder. Avoid falling, use safety harnesses. The adjustable legs should be used to level the scaffolding. And this is an example of alarm-safe footing. Maximum acceptable space between scaffolding boards is 2.5 centimeters. Best way for fixing the scaffolding boards. No space makes 100% safety. This is the correct installation for toe boards. This is an example of bad housekeeping. And this is the correct way for storing materials and retaining housekeeping. Basic firefighting. Fire prevention. Objectives: to know how fire starts, fire prevention, and lastly fire protection, loss control. What is fire? Fire is a chemical reaction involving three elements: combustible substances, oxygen, and ignition source. Elements of fire. Number 1, oxygen. Air is the main source of oxygen in a fire, but some substances, oxidizing agents, can provide their own oxygen. Easy. For example, ammonium nitrate, sodium chlorate, hydrogen peroxide. Combustible substances are methane, petrol, plastic, fibers, paper, and wood. Some inorganic substances that are combustible are hydrogen, sulfur, sodium, phosphorus, magnesium, and ammonium nitrate. Main ignition sources are through sensible heats, that are flames, direct heat and hot surfaces, welding and cutting splints, self-heating, lighting, chemical energy, vehicles, friction, electrical equipment, and static electricity. This is a chart showing combustible substance, oxygen, and ignition energy create fire, which produces combustion and heat. Fire prevention. First of all, we have to eliminate flammable combustible materials or ignition sources or air or oxygen. Fire prevention can be done through good housekeeping, reduced storage of flammable material, proper storage of flammable material, elimination of ignition sources, educate and train people, carry out drills, work permit procedures, modification control procedure. Protection from fire, loss control can be done through fire alarms, detection systems, first aid, training drills, firefighting facilities, building materials, escape routes, emergency lighting, structure protection, protection of cables and equipment. Here are some definitions. Ignition temperature. The lowest temperature at which the substance will ignite spontaneously is called ignition temperature. The second thing is flash point. The minimum liquid temperature at which sufficient vapor is given off to form a mixture with air which is capable of ignition under prescribed test conditions. Upper limit of flammability is the maximum concentration of fuel in which air will permit the spread of flame from a small local source of ignition. The lower limit of flammability is the minimum concentration of the fuel in air which will permit the spread of flame from small local sources of ignition. Good housekeeping results in good fire prevention. Avoid using open electric heater, keep clothing etc. away from heaters, store paper in cupboard, not on desk, keep escape routes clear. Fire extinguishers. There are 5 classes of extinguishers. Under fire extinguisher types, operating procedures, capabilities, and limitation. Understand basic firefighting concepts, race and pass. These are the 5 categories. In category A, the fire of wood, cloth, paper, rubber, and many plastics is considered. In class B, gasoline, oil, grease, tar, and flammable gases. Class C is natural gas and methane. Class D is combustible metals, magnesium, sodium, potassium, titanium, and acids. Class E is electrical equipment fire. Energized electrical equipments are included in this. Types of fire extinguishers. There are 4 types. Water for Class A fire, foam for Class B fire, CO2 for Class E fire, DCP for all types of fires. This is a fire extinguisher shown. A fire emergency response. The 2 types are RACE. R stands for rescue, A for alarm, C to contain, and E to extinguish the fire. The other type is PASS. Pull the pin, aim at low at the base of flames, S for squeeze the handle, and the second S is for sweep side to side. If you discover a fire, do raise a fire alarm. Try to extinguish fire with a suitable fire extinguisher. If not familiar with its use or do not feel you can extinguish it, evacuate to your assembly point. Environmental safety. Pollution. Major types of pollution are air pollution, water, land, noise, and radioactive pollution. Effects of environment. Air pollution affects the health of all humans, plants, and animals. Water pollution affects the life of aquatic organisms and also causes diseases like cholera, malaria, and typhoid. Noise pollution can cause hearing problems like high blood pressure, stress, and color blindness. Land pollution can contaminate the underground water, whereas radioactive pollution can cause serious diseases like cancer, ulcer, swelling of joints, blood in cough, and others. How to control air pollution? For controlling air pollution, we need to do some modifications in our industries, like applying dust collectors in cement industries, discharging the waste gases after filtration in fertilizers and other process industries. Chemical treatment of waste gases is also possible. How to control water pollution? Water pollution is mainly caused by our process industries, so it is mandatory to discharge waste in dump yards instead of water. How to control land pollution? Recycle waste such as plastic instead of burying it in landfills. Use the organic waste to produce methane for energy. Separate heavy metals. Use high temperature incineration to get rid of harmful man-made organic chemicals like PCBs and pesticides. Force oil companies and mining companies to adhere to environmental standards and clean up their Organizations for Environmental Safety. IPCC, United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Pakistan. Security awareness for men and material. Security awareness is the knowledge and attitude members of an organization regarding the protection of the physical and especially information asset of that organization. Physical security is the monitoring or guarding against loss, theft, and damage likely to be caused by human beings. The area security means that you secure the area with the help of observation, domination of security posts, cameras, binoculars, electronic devices. Protecting or guarding the business. Access control systems, manage gate and gatekeepers, manning watchtowers, perimeters lighting, arranging patrols, sniffing dogs, fencing and razor wire. Types of security are security of man and security of material. Electronic security includes external and internal alarms, access control, CCTVs, fire alarms, motion detectors, UVSS, walk-through gates, X-ray machines. There should be a strong check on identity documents, identity card, passes, permit, gate passes for store items and others. Admission of visitors should be properly retained. Checking of ID cards, reason of visit, register, they should be escorted, return passes, and temporary passes. Risk means real or perceived threat to a person, organization, or installation. Aims of the security risk: identify the potential security threat, assess the adequacy of existing, recommend reduction in risk to a acceptable level, improve security measure once recommended is approved. What can risk assessment do? Provide a sound basis for security decisions, prevent occurrence of any incident, help to strike a balance between threat and cost of security measure. No individual can guarantee 100%, but we get as close to it as possible through alternates, alertness, and sound security systems.